Hello, this is Vlad and a new story from my channel, Amazing Stories. What are you hanging around here for? The weather is such that the owner won't let his dog out. What are you doing wandering around in the cold? Andre opened the door and scolded a woman wrapped in a holey downy shawl and a blue padded jacket. Excuse me, please, I have nowhere else to go. I'm walking from the bus stop, and the first building I saw was yours. Can you even read? This is actually a morgue, you know? I'm the only one alive here, the rest aren't. Who can help you here? They can't help. But the dead wouldn't hurt me. Let me in to warm up, please. It's so cold I can't feel my fingers anymore. Yeah, right, it's phenomenal for February. And there's so much snow, we can't even keep up with shoveling the paths. I'm doing an autopsy here and cleaning up. Okay, God be with you, come in. Quote. Andre opened the door wider and let the woman in first. There, down the hall, to my office. Don't go into the others, there's nothing to see there. The woman darted into the office, sat down on the old sofa, and began rubbing her fingers, red from the cold. You're dressed a bit inappropriately for the weather. And your quilted jacket looks like it's been sniffling for a while, like you've just come from prison, right? That's right. I got out today, took the bus, and came to this village. There's nowhere else to go. I'm Marina Andre, the local pathologist. I've been working here for 100 years. Were you in prison for long, though? Not very. 4 years. I lived, I worked, and then it all just fell apart. Now I have to start from scratch. But that doesn't scare me. I survived there, I went through so much, and I saw that it's not scary to start something new. I just need to forget the old. I understand. It looks like I'll be committing a crime, but I'll still take the risk. I'll let you stay here. I can't throw a woman out in the cold dressed like that. True, I don't have much to treat you to, except maybe instant noodles, a teapot, and a few cookies. So you can have some treats and relax, and I need to pick up my daughter from school. It won't be long. I'll be gone for about an hour. Are you settling in? No, Andre wasn't afraid to leave the woman in his office. He had nothing to take from her. He actually liked her. Long light brown hair, brown eyes, an upturned nose, and plump lips, chapped from the severe frost. She looked about 40. Thin, petite. How had she survived in the penal colony? Andre was also curious about what Marina had been convicted of, but he didn't dare ask right away. She warmed up a bit and made herself some tea. It was amazing. After the frost, after the cold cell, to find yourself in a warm office with a mug of tea and know that you're now free. She watched the blizzard swirl outside the window and thought about her past. Could she have imagined, when she graduated from teaching, when she worked at the school, when she married Caustic and made plans for the future with him, that her life would turn out like this? So? That terrible night. Investigation. Trial prison. And she, in court with this disgusting dyed blonde. No, she couldn't. This wasn't how she had imagined her fate. Marina closed her eyes, leaned against the back of the sofa and immersed herself in memories. The mug of tea pleasantly warmed her hands. The snowstorm seemed to soothe. She remembered that summer day, the end of June. The worst test had been passed. She was walking down the street, eating ice cream and turning her face to the southern sun. She wasn't afraid of freckles. Let her be even more beautiful with them. And then she heard a voice. Marin, wait. She turned around and saw a thin, tall guy, carnassive, with glasses, and a choker, the same as then. Caustic, is that you? She rushed to hug her childhood friend. Kostya the crooked nose. Marinka, I recognized you right away. Although, of course, you've changed a lot. So tall, so beautiful. How long has it been since we've seen each other? When did you move to the new building? About 7 years ago. That's how long we haven't seen each other. Where are you studying? At the teacher training college. I'm going to teach physics. And you, Kostya? I'm finishing up my studies at a technical school to become a painter and plasterer. By the way, I'm already working. Like you, I don't have to wait so many years to start working. Yeah, good thing. Marina looked with admiration at her childhood friend, who always protected her from other boys. And what are you doing now, anyway? What are your plans? Well, I just passed my last exam. I don't have any plans yet. I'm walking, taking a walk, eating ice cream. Wow, is this really how you celebrate? Ice cream is for school children. Let's go to a restaurant. I passed my assignments. I have money. If we're going to have a good time, let's have a good time. How long has it been since we've seen each other, huh? After this, they never parted from their fleeting encounters. Their childhood friendship in the courtyard blossomed into a profound feeling, something each of them experienced for the first time in their lives. Kostik wasn't chasing a diploma. Earning money was what mattered most to him now. I've finished school, and I've had enough of these books and notebooks. Now I need to work hard, he'd say, taking on yet another renovation project. When Marina graduated from college, they got married. She immediately found a job at the school and felt completely at home. She loved the subject, loved working with children, and never regretted her career choice. Kostya spent days and nights painting and plastering. Word of mouth worked well. He was known as an excellent craftsman, skilled and responsible. Getting rich quickly wasn't something their family could do, but they had enough money for everything. They also couldn't become parents. Both were healthy. The doctors found no problems, but the long-awaited pregnancy never happened. Marina took a sip of tea and wrapped herself deeper in her jacket, which still smelled of prison. But now that was in the past. Memory transported her to an event 5 years ago. She worked as a deputy head teacher. Her colleagues respected her, her students loved her. Kostik already had his own company renovating and selling finishing materials. They had an apartment, a car. They went on vacation twice a year, and everything was going quietly and well. And then one day she returned home early and found her husband with some blonde, right in their bed. Kostik, is that you? Marina couldn't believe her eyes and was able to say only this with tears in her eyes. Me, and this is Masha. I wanted to tell you everything, but now, basically, you know everything yourself. How is this possible? You've been together for a long time, aren't you ashamed at all? A long time ago, marriage, 2 years. And no, I'm not ashamed. Life is short. I fell in love and decided to allow myself these feelings. I have the right, after all. Marina went into the bathroom and burst into tears. She was so upset, so hurt, and she couldn't understand how this could happen. They have a family, they've been together for so long, and he's with that woman. 2 days later, her husband started talking about divorce and dividing the property. You understand, all this was bought with my company's income. With your salary, you could probably only buy a room in a dorm. So, we'll buy you that, and all this is left to me. No, I don't agree. We earned this together. Your company is successful now, but how long it was operating at a loss, and back then we lived on my salary, have you forgotten? Oh, it was nothing. The main income for all these years has come from me, so it's unfair to divide it equally. Marina was sure that enterprising Masha had brainwashed her husband and tried to force him to take everything. Marina was heartbroken by the betrayal, but she wasn't going to just leave everything without a fight. She knew any court would divide the property equally, and she simply got on her unfaithful husband's nerves. After his betrayal, She suddenly realized they no longer loved him and would certainly never be able to forgive him. Kostya was furious, angry at being bogged down in this family squabble and unable to start a new life with Masha. In the end, he threatened, "If you don't give up your claims to the property and quietly give me a divorce, you'll deeply regret it." "And what will you do to me?" "Kill me, you'll see." That evening they were at home with him, each in a separate room. And suddenly Marina heard Kostya scream and ran to him. He was sitting on the floor covered in blood. There was a deep cut on his arm, his white t-shirt was red on his stomach. He was holding a kitchen knife in his hands. Quote, "Kostya, what have you done?" "Oh, help me put pressure on the wound," he whispered. Marina threw the knife away, lifted her t-shirt and pressed pressure on the bleeding. 10 minutes later, the ambulance arrived. Marina didn't even understand how they managed to do it so quickly. Perhaps her husband called earlier. She asked him questions, but he remained silent. Marina thought that her husband was so upset by her behavior that he decided to commit suicide. But his scheme turned out to be more complex and sophisticated. He told the police that this wife attacked him with a knife because she couldn't forgive their divorce. Her fingerprints were on the knife, and this turned out to be strong evidence against everything she said. In the inheritance, she tried to convince him that she did nothing and didn't touch her husband's fingers. "What are you trying to say?" "He went and cut himself." "And why did he do that?" the investigator insisted. "I don't know. Maybe he thought that we wouldn't get a divorce and he wouldn't be able to marry his mistress. And if that's true, then you drove him to it. So, it's your fault everywhere, all around." "Yes, I didn't do anything." It was clear to Marina. The case was fabricated, and the investigation worked against her. How much he paid them, what she promised, she didn't know. Only one thing was clear: she would be imprisoned, and all the property would go to him and his Masha. Later, Marina found out that Kostik had also insured himself for a huge sum, and this attempt and injury played into his hands. After all the proceedings, he was paid several million. Marina, however, went to serve her sentence. It was a terrible time, it was hard. One time, her ex-husband came to visit. He looked at her for a long time in silence, and then snapped through clenched teeth. "I told you, refuse me, don't make any claims, give me a divorce and get lost." She wanted to show her character. "Now you sit here and think. I hate you. I couldn't even imagine what a monster you are. There's no point in taking happiness away from a man in love. I didn't want to give Masha and me a life. Now everything is fair." Marina never saw him again and couldn't imagine what had happened to him. And when she went out today, she realized she had no home, nowhere to go. Her ex-husband had taken everything. So she decided to get off the commuter bus at the first stop she came to and try to find work in this village. She probably would have walked further, but she was so cold and tired that she decided to find shelter in the morgue. It was a strange place, of course, but it was better than sleeping on the street. Marina dozed off for a few minutes, and then opened her eyes and began to look around the office. It was cozy here, okay. There was a photograph on the table. A new acquaintance, Andre, with his daughter. Nearby lay folders and some notes. Marina automatically glanced at them and, for a second, stopped. No, it seemed so. On the open page in the journal it was written, Krivonos Konstantin Yurievich, and the same year of birth as her ex-husband. "Oh, coincidences happen," she muttered. "He's not bored," came from the hallway, and Andre and a girl of about 13 entered the office. "No, I'm not bored. I rested a bit. Thank you for taking me in. This is Varya, my daughter. Meet, We stopped by and bought some pies. Dad, I made a barrel. Didn't you take it with you again? The girl asked reproachfully. Quote, wow, you're so little, you can already cook borscht. Marina was sincerely surprised. I'm not little. Well, yes, I cook, I learned how. Daddy needs to eat liquids. We don't have a mom, so I'm cooking. Varya, come on, that's enough. Aunt Marina isn't interested in our family problems at all. Go on, make some tea, and I'll have coffee, as usual. Okay, Dad, right now. But I won't sit with you for long. I have a physics test tomorrow. I need to study. There's so much to study, it's awful. Okay, I'll just get some water and make it. She's my main helper, Andre said wearily when Varya ran off with the kettle. If it weren't for her, I would have disappeared after my wife died. But she supports me, they even cook something. My sympathies. What happened to your wife? She died 3 years ago in childbirth. We were expecting a son, and in the end, both she and the baby died. I was supposed to perform the autopsy, but I couldn't. Now I live for Varya. Oh, forgive me, Andre, you know what I wanted to say? Varya has trouble with physics. She's not good at that subject at all. What a strange coincidence. I used to be a physics teacher. So you were just released. That's true. But I had a life before prison. There, I was a good teacher who loved my work and my students. And I can basically help you figure it out. And you know, Marina, that would be great. I'm not a rocket scientist at all when it comes to physics. We're trying to do our homework together. And, as luck would have it, I have a lot of work. Well, let me help, and you work. Marina had never taught lessons in the pathologist's office. And while Andre worked, he and Varya drank tea and discussed complex topics. Marina explained everything simply and easily. Varya asked questions, nodded, and then they worked through a few problems from the textbook, and Marina said approvingly, Varya, I think you can handle the test. You understand now, right? Quote, I think she does. If only our teacher explained things like that, but he just writes down some numbers, formulas, and then yells at us. So, are you done with your homework? Andre entered the room and looked at them wearily. They're done. It seems the test won't be scary. What are you saying, Marin? Thank you so much. At least one evening I'll be able to spend without Newton and Pascal. Well, you know, not the worst company compared to your circle, Marina smiled, waving her hand vaguely. Andre, I have one question for you. I might be intruding on doctor-patient confidentiality, but I can't help but ask. Well, let's try. I saw my ex-husband's exact namesake in your journal, and the year of birth matches. Is there any way to find out if it's him or not? Well, let's see, since we've seen it. What's his name? Konstantin Krivonos. Right now. And who are you talking about? He and his wife were in an accident. She's in intensive care, and he's here with us. I'm preparing the report. By the way, I found out something interesting. Can I take a look at it? Yes, I can. Let's go. They went into the back room. Andre rolled one of the gurneys under a bright lamp and said, Just let me warn you right away, it's not a pleasant sight. Give it to Shatir. No, let me just look. Andre opened the black bag. Marina looked for a long time and finally said, Caustic, it is you after all. And then she slowly turned to the door and went outside. She was calm. There were no tears, no fear. Everything somehow happened simply. She had long imagined their meeting, but did not expect it to be like this. How are you? Fine. Andre came out to her. Yes, it seems normal. This is really my ex-husband, who ruined my life. Yes, fate is full of strange meetings and events. And you said that this is an interesting case. What's wrong with him? You know, he has several scars on his body, on his stomach and arms. And I can say with absolute certainty that they are authors. Well, that is, he inflicted them on himself. And if so, there should be information about this in his card. This is important. We are obliged to describe everything. And what does he indicate? It is indicated that they were inflicted by someone else. But that is not true. It is as clear as 2 and 2. Marina was silent. Her head was spinning, she could not breathe. Is this really possible? Surely the examination could have established this back then, saved her from prison. But Kostya, it seems, bought everyone. He tried in every way to send her behind bars. Are you unwell? No, it is fine. Maybe we should go to your office, I will tell you everything, and you can advise me if it is possible to change anything. You may not get back time, but at least you can save your honor and reputation. Marina told everything. Varya listened, holding her breath. Andrei frowned and played with a ballpoint pen. She spoke quietly, without emotion, no longer feeling anything. She just wanted justice. It was simply terrifying. You know, Marina, I will prepare a detailed report and I hope that we can get the case reviewed. Thank you. Well, now I suggest we get together and go home, Andrei said wearily. Quote, it's a bit late. Well, I have nowhere to go. Can I stay here? No, you're coming with us. The house may be small, but what does it have? Marina nodded gratefully and wiped away her tears. She couldn't believe that on her very first day of freedom she had met such people, and hope had appeared in her. The next morning, Var and Andrei were devouring pancakes with sour cream that Marina had baked with great appetite. Quote, the last time we ate this well was when Mom was here, the girl said quietly. Marina smiled and added more. Only a year later, her case was reviewed. The court found that she had not caused any injuries, and therefore was not guilty of anything. By the court's decision, half of the jointly acquired property was returned to her. Marina, however, was left in a wheelchair after the accident. She came and demanded her share in cash. Quote, I'll give everything back, Marina. Just don't take the house, please. Give me 3 days, I'll get the money ready. Fine. I don't need your house. I have my own, warm and bright. It's not like this den of yours. She wasn't lying. Marina was talking about the house she shared with Andrei Ivoria, their small home, which she visited once but stayed there forever. At first, they lived like good neighbors, like close friends. Andrei was a great supporter during the trial, and Marina knew she couldn't have done it without him. She cooked them lunches and dinners, ran the household, and taught them physics. She also took on part-time tutoring. Andrei now brought food from home to work and forgot about instant noodles forever. After a while, Marina managed to get a job at a local school. And then she hesitantly said to Andrei, I think I'll start receiving a steady salary, and I think I'll be able to rent a place. He looked at her in surprise. Marin, what are you talking about? How did you even get here? This house has come alive. It's as if its soul has returned, and Varya and I are happy again. No, neither of us can imagine life without you. What will that be? Existence. We both. No, you and I have been one family for a long time. Don't you feel it yourself? I feel it, Marina smiled and hugged him. And so they began to live as one big, friendly, loving family. And a year later, they began to think about expanding, buying a new house. In principle, there was enough money, considering what Marina received as compensation. After all, they had Kolya, chubby and restless. Varya looked at Carapace and, smiling, said, "Mom, Marin, I think he will also be a good physicist. I will teach him myself. You know, I'm now the best in school at physics." "Okay, daughter, that's a deal." If you like the story, please support me with a thumbs up. It's a simple action for you, but it means the world to me. Thank you in advance and all the best. M.